Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to Dr. Monkey, where we laugh together and cry together, but hopefully take something away to treat each other a little better. Here's some interesting stories. One about a woman who demanded OP to reschedule her surgery because the woman needed to meet her family. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Story 1. I'm currently a nanny for a family I've been with for about 6 months. They always pay me on time and I adore the little boy I'm taking care of, so we never really had any problems until now. I recently found out I had ovarian cancer and needed to have one of my ovaries removed. My conversation telling EP about my surgery went something like this. EP, did I not tell you about our family reunion? Me, you did, but unfortunately I won't be able to come and help because I've just had surgery. EP, you need to reschedule then. Me, I'm not gonna do that. EP, we've had this planned for months. You need to be there to help. Me, I'm sorry, but I won't be able to be there. EP, are you kidding? Me, no. EP, I'm not sure how much I trust leaving my child with you if you don't care enough to be there for our family when we need you. Me, I care about him a lot, and hope I have shown that over the last few months working for you. EP huffed and stomped off. I'll update when they're talking to me again. Update. Grandma just showed up and said EP called her to relieve me for the day, and she'd like me to come early tomorrow to have a family meeting. You said she's never been like that before. The reason is because you've never told her no before. She sounds like the kind of person that is perfectly wonderful as long as everything goes her way. Time to look for a new job. The best one would be someone who is looking to have a baby in a few months so you can get some time off. Leave this house ASAP. And tell this bee that if this is her level of concern for you, that she doesn't deserve any notice at all. I guess she thought you were her servant? Sorry, wrong. Update. I went in an hour early for our family meeting with OP and her husband to discuss what happened yesterday. EP, were you able to reschedule so you could come to our family reunion? Me, no. Like I told you yesterday, I can't reschedule. Husband, what are you having to reschedule? Maybe we could give you some paid time off before the reunion so it can take care of whatever it is and still come with us. Having you there would really help us out. EP, we already made plans in the evening with friends, so we need you to watch baby. Me, unfortunately, I can't reschedule. Like I told you yesterday, I am having to have one of my ovaries removed because I have cancer. Husband, oh my God. I'm so sorry to hear that, OP. EP, you're what, 25? People don't get ovarian cancer that young. What's the real reason you can't go? Husband, holy cow, EP. People can get cancer at any age. Me, I'm not lying. Husband, why would she lie? EP, no. Husband, what do you think the Make-A-Wish Foundation is for? Children with cancer. You can get it at any age, EP. EP, flustered. Well, how was I supposed to know that? I just thought she didn't want to go and was trying to get out of it. Husband, holy cow, EP. EP, what? Husband, OP, I am so sorry. Thank you for all you do with baby. We know how much he loves you. Me, I care a lot about baby, and I've really enjoyed working for y'all. But the incident yesterday was unprofessional and upsetting. Next Friday will be my last day working for y'all. If you find someone to replace me before then, I'd be happy to train them. EP, what? Husband, I see. EP, you're just going to quit? Husband, EP, stop. EP, it wasn't that big of a deal, and you're quitting? I thought you loved baby. Husband, EP, that is enough. EP starts to choke up and looks like she's going to cry. Husband, OP, I am so sorry to hear that we will be losing you. I am deeply sorry for what occurred yesterday, and any stress that it may have caused you. EP. Quietly. It's not my fault. Husband. No one said it was your fault. EP. You just did. EP stomps off crying. Husband follows and returns alone after 5 minutes. Husband. OP. Why don't you take the rest of the week off? I'll still pay you for those hours, but I think it'd be best to have EP's mom watch baby while we figure things out. Me. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you Monday then? Husband. See you Monday. And again, I am so sorry for everything. Me. I appreciate that. Then I left and got some pancakes and typed this up. Edit. I would like to throw out there that it is very possible something is going on in EP's life, or mental state, that's leading her to act this way. Aside from this experience, I generally enjoyed working for their family, and I felt respected and valued by both her and her husband. Was this experience upsetting? Yes. Do I want to continue to work for them when I have to interact with her every day because she works from home? No. However, from what I've seen, she's a good wife and mother. I hope whatever caused her behavior is dealt with, and I wish her all the best. Thankfully, the husband was the voice of reason and could easily see that cancer isn't something you just put off or lie about. I'm glad that he stuck up for you, but I am so sorry that EP was such an idiot towards you in the first place. Her comments made me think, how are you even a good person? Good God, the stupidity of that woman. I hope your surgery goes well and that you have a speedy recovery. Sending love and light for a cancer-free future. Story 2. When I was 4 years old, my parents got divorced and my dad got sole custody of me. He was really emotionally and verbally abusive, which made me extremely depressed. At 20, I decided to drop out of college to get a job and move out. I told him that I just couldn't do it anymore, that if I kept living with him, I think I'd just end up offing myself. He worked at the college I was going to, and I just didn't want to deal with the awkwardness of seeing him there. My boyfriend's family at the time offered to let me move in with them. His mom was a bit unhinged at times due to a head injury, but she seemed like she came from a difficult background and understood my situation. So after I told my dad that I couldn't handle living with him anymore, I packed all my stuff into my car with my boyfriend and left to drop it off at his place. The next day, we went to grab the other half of the stuff. My dad opens the door and tells me that he's keeping the other half of my things. My dad would often negatively compare me to my mom, or yell at me saying, "You're a freaking idiot, just like your mom." So, it seemed like he was taking me moving out as some kind of divorce. LOL. Anyway, so I'm upset and I'm wondering why he even wants half my things. But I just give up since I want to leave anyway. I go back to my boyfriend's place and I just casually tell his mom what happened. She seems sad for me, and I tell her it's alright. I just accepted that half my stuff was gone and I was ready to move on. Then the next day, his mom comes home and she says sternly, "Come on, we're going to get the rest of your things." I was confused as heck, but I decided to go with it. So we go back to my dad's place, and she is just berating my dad on his parenting and yelling at him while I awkwardly collect my things. It was weird as heck to see my dad getting a taste of his own medicine and cowering while she yelled at him about what kind of a parent would do such a thing, and so on. Apparently, before she came to pick me up, without telling anyone, she just randomly showed up on my dad's doorstep, let herself in the house, and yelled at him until he agreed to let me get the rest of my stuff. Yep, too bad you don't have to have a parenting degree to have kids. Abusive parents are the worst, and they keep the chain of dysfunction moving on. Break the chain. Be strong and mature. Maybe seek counseling to help you heal and grow. Story 3. Let me first give you some background so you can get where people are coming from. My father left a few years prior. Mom bought a small house with the money from the divorce, and a few months before has gotten herself a boyfriend. At first, I was truly happy she had moved on, But soon, I realized she's fallen for some real piece of garbage. Now, you need to understand. My father was an alcoholic and a narcissist, so my mom's normal meter was truly broken. Anybody treating her halfway decent must have appeared like a Prince Charming to her. So please, do not judge her too harshly for her choice. I don't. Now, he was not only halfway decent, he really treated her well, though he was an a-hole to me. But what I realized, and she did not, was that he was a parasite. He had maybe $100 to his name, and his only income and support was from the state. A couple of $100. Now, I already hear you ask, how could he afford the flowers and going out? By living rent-free and having all costs paid for till he gets back on his feet. One last thing, as the headline already told you, he soon started to show an immense entitlement towards me. Basically, he said, this is his house, so I have to follow his rules. Of course I told him this is my mom's house, not his. And I do not have to do jack garbage unless mom tells me so. He took that really badly since he had an ego problem, as he probably already guessed. I tried to tell mom, but she would not believe me since he always acted very nice to me when she was around. But as soon as she was not, the Cold War started. He pulled a lot of small garbage like demanding in a patronizing voice I bring him some beer while watching TV with me, while mom was on the loo. When she came back, he told her he had asked me nicely to bring him beer when I stood up to get something, but I refused, insulted him, and sat back down. So of course she told me to apologize and get him a beer. I tried to explain, but she would not let me. So I kept pulling the petty bullcrap to establish dominance. After this whole story, I asked mom why she would always believe him and not me, and let me explain. Apparently, he had told her I was super jealous he was in the house, and wanted to get rid of him by trying to make him look bad. So she backed him to show me he was not going anywhere. Time for the main act. I had gone out the night from Friday to Saturday, and had come back at 3 a.m. My mom was gone over the weekend, and he freaking exploded. How dare I disrespect him like that coming home this late? I told him calmly he does not get to declare a curfew for me, and my mom allows me coming home this late, which is true provided I stay at the house of 3 specific people I'm friends with, and whose parents are my mom's friends. He flipped out even more and called me a dirty liar. He then gave me the classic, as long as you put my legs under his table. And me being the smart rear, of course, answered, this is my mom's and my house. You are a guest here. He screamed at me he's going to kick me out of the house and I will not be allowed back in till my mom returns. I screamed back, he cannot do that since this is not his house. I threatened to call my mom. He emboldened by her backing him up all the time for me to do just that. But I better not lie to her. And I tell her what is actually happening. I put her on speaker and told her, he is trying to kick me out of the house till you come back Monday. It was Saturday. She did not believe me and told me to put him on the line. So he started by telling her I disrespected him as the man of the house by coming home so late, and then lying to him about this being okay when I stay at a friend's house, and that I need to learn to respect him. So it is up to him how he disciplines me since she is not there. Then he lied and said he told me to be home by 1 a.m. For the first time he let his mask slip, and she picked up on it right away. Her. So, let me get this straight. I allow my son to be out till 3, but you think you can overrule my decision on my son? And now you think you can kick my son out of his house? And now you think you get to kick my son out of his house? He realized he screwed up. He tried to get her to take his side, but only dug his hole deeper. Well, he keeps not respecting me in my own house. If you let him win now, he will never respect me. Her. And do you think the right punishment for disrespect is to kick him out for 2 days? Him. Yes. Finally. You get it. I knew you'd come around. Her. Well, you did nothing wrong since he was allowed to go out that long. You have no right just to overrule my decisions on my son. Him. But, her. I am not done. Apparently you think the right punishment for your disrespect is to kick you out until Monday. Him, but I only have $100. This isn't fair. Where am I supposed to go? Her, I'm sure my son had even less money, and you did not give a crap. You got 30 minutes to leave. I'll tell the neighbor to check. If you are still there in a half hour, we call the police and have you trespassed. When I come home Monday, we will talk. I am such an idiot that I kept believing you over my son. Once my mom came home, I told her how he kept pulling this bullcrap on me, and she was so sorry she kept backing him up. I tried to tell her many times he treated me exactly like my father did when she was not around. One major reason for their divorce. But since he treated her so differently and acted so differently than my father, she believed him, and I was jealous and tried to get rid of him. But when she heard him say these words my father said so many times, "You owe me respect since you live in my house," she suddenly realized I was telling the truth all along, while he was the liar. That was why she got so furious so fast. She never realized how badly he really treated me, and how entitled he acted since he had hidden it so well before. But when he started to talk about deserving respect in his own house, something my father kept saying, from me, a house he did not put a penny into and was somehow his. Even worse was thinking he could overrule her on her own son. My father kept overruling her decisions. So she finally saw through him and got all the evidence she needed I was telling the truth all along. They broke up that Monday. He never even got back into the house. They met for a coffee and she demanded her keys back. Originally, she wanted to give him a month. But when she entered the bar they met at, he right away started to scream at her about how dare she kick him out of the house like this, and that now that he would never get the respect from me he is entitled to. So she told him she's only here to ask for the keys back, and that they are through. I'm glad you both got rid of that creep. Please get the locks changed ASAP, and be sure your mom has put freezes on her credit and bank information. You might encourage her to gently get some therapy because, yeah, her normal meter is broken. Well guys, that's all for today. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing. And if you missed the last episode on the channel, I'm gonna link it right here. The story's about a woman who threatened to call security on OP because OP didn't give her a gift card OP won in a raffle. Check this out if you haven't, and I'll see you next time on Dr. Monkey.